Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss CAB ABM Advanced Bank Management. Some memory recalled questions and importance questions which are very useful for preparation of forthcoming examinations. This is part 1. Now, what are the restructuring schemes? Question number 1. What are the restructuring schemes scrapped by RBI on 7th June 2019? This is on this date, Reserve Bank of India, the following schemes has been scrapped. Framework for revitalizing distressed assets, corporate debt restructuring, that is called short CDR, flexible restructuring of existing long-term project loans, strategic debt restructuring SDR, change in ownership outside strategic debt restructuring, scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed assets. All these schemes has been scrapped by RBI on 7/6/2019. Why? These are the schemes prior to 7/6/2019 are existing for restructuring of accounts. On this day, RBI has issued a new scheme. The new scheme name is Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets. After issuing of this circular, that is called Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stressed Assets, all these circulars was scrapped on the same day. On the same day, this guidance has been scrapped. In these places, new scheme has been introduced. The name of that scheme is Prudential Framework for Resolution of Stress Risks. This is the only scheme available as of today for restructuring of advances. Now, question number 2, working capital assessment or MPBF, maximum permissible bank finance assessment to software industries, seasonal industries and infrastructure industries. What method banks are following means cash budget method. Under cash budget method, month wise, quarterly wise, cash budget has to be prepared by these industries. Month wise or quarterly wise, deficit cash is there, budgeting, deficit cash finance is there during that month. That amount is going to be financed. That is called cash budget method. Assessment of working. Number 3, higher inventory turnover ratio. Higher inventory turnover ratio means indicates higher sales. What is the meaning of higher inventory turnover ratio? It indicates higher sales, number 1. Number 2, it indicates amount invested in this inventory is less. Higher the turnover ratio means lower the amount of investment in inventory or stocks. So, higher inventory turnover ratio leads to increase in sales. Increase in sales will lead to increase in gross profit. That's why always higher inventory turnover ratio is best for the business organizations. Question number 4, bank guarantees to commodity brokers, stock exchange brokers. What is the margin requirement? Whenever bank is giving a loan to a commodity broker, stock exchange brokers, what is the margin requirement? A uniform margin of 50% shall be applied to all advances and bank guarantees issued to stock brokers and market makers. You have to take a uniform margin is 50. Out of 50, cash margin is 25. A minimum cash margin of 25% you have to insist. Within the margin of 50, out of 50, 25% cash margin you have to take. This is the bank guarantee commodity brokers and stock brokers. Whenever bank is issuing, you have to insist 50% margin. Out of 50, 25% is the cash margin. This is the bank guarantee. Now, bank guarantee maximum issuance period is how many years? Normally, the bank can issue bank guarantee maximum 10 years. Normally, all banks 10 years. If any bank want to issue bank guarantee beyond 10 years, there must be a board approved policy for issuance of bank guarantee beyond 10 years. That is it. Now, what are the characteristics of infrastructure project advances? If a bank is giving a loan to an infrastructure project, what are the features? What are the characteristics of infrastructure finance? Normally, the long gestation period. Whenever you are giving a loan to infrastructure, moratorium period, gestation period is so long. Number 1. Number 2, in the infrastructure projects, the companies are having high debt equity ratio. Means equity is less and the debt is more. That is called debt equity ratio is normally high. Normally high. And the implementation period, the implement for starting the period, for starting the commencement of the operations also, it will takes usually long period. So these are the infrastructure project features or statistics. Long gestation period, high debt equity ratio, implementation period is also so long. So these are the features of infrastructure. 6. 7. A project is more acceptable for finance from the banker side. A project is more acceptable for finance from the banker side. If IRR is in the project, internal rate of return is higher than the cost of capital. Cost of capital, internal rate of return is higher than the cost of capital, then we can finance this project. IRR is more, internal rate of return more than cost of capital, then the project is more acceptable by the bankers. That is. Then question number 8. What is the provision on direct advances in SME, agriculture, home loans of standard assets? On the standard advances, what is the provision amount of agriculture, housing loans and SME advances? 0.25% of the funded outstanding on a portfolio basis. Overall outstanding of the advances of SME, agriculture and home loans. 0.25% provision on a portfolio means as of overall outstanding level, the bank has to maintain a 0.25% of outstanding portfolio as provision under standard advance, SME, agriculture and housing loan. Question number 9. What is the banker's lien? Banker's lien is general lien. General lien means till the recovery of the loans, all the loans due to the bank, bankers are having right to retain the goods, retain the documents, retain the papers. That's why this is called banker's lien is general lien, and indirectly it is also called as implied pledge. Implied pledge. Banker's lien is defined under Indian Contract Act. That is question number 9. Question number 10, large exposure framework. Very important. Large exposure framework. New exposure norms was introduced with effect from 1st April 2019. 1st April 2019. That is called large exposure framework. Under large exposure framework, bank exposure to a single counterparty, single, not more than 20% of Tier 1 capital of the bank. Bank exposure to a single counterparty, and means bank can give a loan to a single borrower, not more than 20% of Tier 1 capital of the bank. Bank board of directors may consider another 5%, 20 plus 5, 25 with the consideration of bank board of directors. A group of connected counterparty, for a group company, bank can give 30% of Tier 1 capital up to 30th June 2021. Because of COVID, they had given this provision. Otherwise, normally 25% of Tier 1 capital. So, from 1st July 2021 onwards, 25% up to 30th June 2021, that is 30%. This is the large exposure framework. Now, question number 11. What are the document of title to goods includes? These are the quasi-negotiable instruments. That's why this is called a document of title to goods. Bill of lading, railway receipt. These are all are quasi-negotiable. Those people who are having the document, they can take the position of the goods. That's why bill of lading, railway receipt, transporter's receipt, dock warrant, warehouse certificate, warrant, or order for delivery of capital goods. All these items comes under document of title to goods. These are also called as quasi-negotiable instrument. 12. In the registration of charge with the register of companies, whenever a bank is giving a loan to a company, that loan details, that charge details, it has to be registered with the register of companies, respective register of companies. Now, the registration with the register of companies after taking a loan, it is the duty of the company. It is the duty of the company. It is the duty of the company to register the charge with register of companies. Duty is on the company only, and it has to be registered with register of companies. The charge has to be registered with register of companies within 30 days from of its documentation. From the date of loan documentation, the charge has to be registered with the register of companies within 30 days. This is the registration of charge. And if they had not registered within first 30 days, by paying additional fee, another 30 days they can take. First 30 days normal fees, next 30 days delay additional fees, then afterwards, after first 30, next 30, after that 60 days, a $1 fee. So maximum with the delay fees, they are allowed to create within 120 days. After that, they have to take permission from MCA. Face value of commercial paper. When any company is issuing a commercial paper, what is the face value of commercial paper? Face value of commercial paper is 5 lakhs and in multiple of 5 lakhs. The denomination is 5 lakhs and multiple of 5 lakhs. It is a discounted document. Commercial paper is issued at discount, and on maturity, the face value of 5 lakhs is going to be paid by the company. That is called face value of commercial paper. Export credit under priority sector. This is the question. Export credit, pre-shipment, post-shipment credit would be classified as priority sector, subject to a sanction limit of 40 crores per borrower. If a bank is giving a loan to any borrower, 40 crores, it may be pre-shipment or post-shipment, that can be considered as priority sector. Means maximum sanction limit per borrower is 40 crores under export credit. Pre-shipment, post-shipment comes under priority sector. The aggregate exposure of a bank to the capital market in all forms, both fund-based and non-fund-based, should not exceed. So bank exposure to capital market, both fund-based and non-fund-based, should not exceed 40% of its net worth as on 31st of the previous. For this net worth ke liye, you have to take 31st March of the previous year. The aggregate exposure of a bank to the capital market in all forms is 40% of net worth. This is. Question number 16. Permissible bank finance under projected annual turnover. As per Nayak committee recommendations, under projected annual turnover, what is the bank finance? Up to 5 crores loan, working capital limits, up to 5 crores limits, banks are going to consider projected annual turnover. As per Nayak committee recommendations, bank finance is 20% of the projected annual turnover is the bank finance, and 5% of the turnover is parties margin, borrower margin. So permissible bank finance under projected annual turnover, Nayak committee recommendations. Bank finance is 20% of projected annual turnover, and borrowers contribution or margin is 5% of turnover. This is the question number 16. Question number 17. What is meant by working capital gap? As for Tandon committee, second method of building working capital calculation, you have to calculate working capital gap. Working capital gap is equal to current assets less current liabilities other than bank borrowings. Other way also, we can say working capital gap is equal to current assets less other current liabilities excluding bank borrowings. We can say other current liabilities excluding bank borrowings, we can deduct, we can get to working capital. It means current assets minus current liabilities. From current liabilities, we have to exclude the bank working capital limits. Then you will get the working capital gap. 18. Question number 18. What is the marginal cost of funds will comprise of? Marginal cost of funds or marginal cost of fund-based lending rate, MCLR. MCLR. How we are going to calculate marginal cost of fund-based lending rates? Under marginal cost of fund-based lending rate, how we are going to calculate the marginal cost of funds? That is the marginal cost of borrowing and return on 92% weight you have to give to marginal cost of borrowings, deposits, and 8% weight you have to give to net worth. That is called marginal cost of borrowings, deposits, 92% weight, and return on net worth, 8%. Negative carry on account of CRR also we have to calculate. This is also part of MCLR, marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. Negative carry on account of CRR. What is the meaning by negative carry on CRR? On CRR balances, we are not getting any interest from RBI. That's why banks are not getting any interest on CRR. That's why part of the amount of the cost of CRR, they have to recover under marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. That is it. Then operating cost also you have to load to part of marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. Then tenor premium also we can add. If we can all the things, you will get the bank's MCLR. Marginal cost of borrow funds, negative carry on account of CRR, operating cost and tenor premium. If we can add to A to D, you will get marginal cost of fund-based lending rates of the bank or marginal cost of funds of the bank. So presently marginal cost of fund-based lending rate, MCLR. Question number 19. What is the definition of negative lien? Negative lien. It is an undertaking certificate given by the borrowing company that they will not create any charge or sell any security, though it is not charged to bank. So it is an undertaking given by the bank, borrowing company, that they will not create any charge in favor of any other bank without the, or they cannot sell the property without the information of the bank. That is called negative lien. This is just like a undertaking only. Now, question number 20, legal audit of title documents. Legal compliance audit, legal audit of title documents in respect of large value loan accounts. So, legal audit of title documents in respect of large value loan accounts means 5 crores and above. Bank should also subject the title deeds verification. Banks should also go for title deeds verification and other documents in respect of all borrowable accounts of 5 crores and above at a periodical level, because once after sanctioning of the loan, sometimes it may run for 5 years and 10 years also. So once after sanction, after completion of some period, at periodical intervals, means this periodical will be decided bank internally, normally once in 2 years or once in 3 years. That is called periodical. The bank has to conduct periodical legal audit and re-verification of title deeds by a bank's panel advocate with relevant authorities as a part of regular audit exercise till the loan stands fully repaid. So the object of this legal audit of title documents is there. After taking a loan from the bank, against the same securities, the party has taken any loan from others or not. Number one, whether the documents created with the bank are genuineness is there or not. That's why at periodical level, periodically, the bank has to go for legal audit. Means this has to be done by panel advocate. At every periodical, they are going to verify the title deeds, whether the existing given title deeds are correct or not, genuine or not, whether they had taken any loan from other banks, etc. That way. This is called legal audit of title documents in respect of large volume loan accounts. This is RBI directed in 2013. This is applicable to all banks, loan above 5 crores. Thank you very much, viewers, for supporting our channel. We are regularly updating JAB, CAB and promotional exam videos. Thank you very much for all for extending support to our channel.